When you work at a company, there are many moments where you need a software or a tool that does something very specific. So for many use cases, you have a proper SaaS, like a subscription to maybe a CRM, maybe Slack for communications, emails, etc. These are the biggest categories of tools. But in many cases, you need that tool. And for example, we'll be building one of them today, a tool to extract from YouTube the thumbnail image from a video. You might need that, for example, if you're managing influencers and you, I don't know, on your website decide to list all the videos that talk about your brand and you want to display on your website the high quality images. Or if you just want to extract thumbnails from inspiring videos to create a sort of a mood board and maybe even have AI then later help you create similar images. So that's one of the use cases. Last time I needed a very specific tool to improve my blog articles from the Webflow CMS, so extract them and then have AI implement our new narrative as a company or our new product updates into these articles, and then have an interface to compare left, right, the diffs between the article before I send it back to Webflow. This is very niche and it requires a custom tool. So either you go with probably if you type YouTube thumbnail downloader, you can find a tool or a PDF compressor, all of that. So you always end up searching on the internet for tools, but then you cannot find your old work. For example, if you already compress a PDF, it will be gone and you probably don't have it in your files anymore. Same for the YouTube thumbnails. And it's actually fine if you need it once or twice every month. That totally works. But whenever it becomes part of how you work, you either lose time or have a tool that's not adapted, for example, a spreadsheet that's not really connected and interactive, or you actually build it yourself. And that's the solution that I always go for whenever there is a proper need for actually investing an hour or two to build that tool that maybe my team will be using. And whenever I do so, I like to use Softr, which is a business app builder. So basically you can create a database, an app, so an interface, and also workflows. You can also connect to other data sources like Airtable, Notion, HubSpot, etc. Or connect to other workflow tools if you prefer N8N, Make, Zapier. But at the end of the day, you get an app that you get to use to share with your team or externals. And right now we'll be building this internal tool, a very simple version of that we can use to, from a YouTube video URL, extract the thumbnail image and download it on our laptop and also save it for our entire team if we want to. So let's get started. So now in the Softr Studio, I'll hit create a new app, and this time I'll create from scratch, select Softr databases as my data source, and let's remove the blocks that were pre-added to my app and add the first vibe coding block. So this is a block that allows you to, when you prompt, get whatever you ask for. So I connect it to a data source so that it's directly connected. I prepared a data schema for this app. So one table for users because I'll collaborate with my team, just adding myself right here. We can also have roles, admins, user, whenever we'll want to go deeper in the permissions. And then I'll need a table for my thumbnails. So one row per video, and then one of the fields will be dedicated to storing the thumbnail. So I'll be storing the title, the URL, then I'll be adding a field for that file where we'll store that maybe JPEG or PNG. And also, store the timestamp when we created it, but also store who was the user who stored that thumbnail so we can get back to and maybe filter in the interface later on. So now that the data structure is ready, we can go into our vibe coding block, make sure it's connected to the right table, and start to prompt. And that's where I describe exactly what I need. So an easy interface to download thumbnails from YouTube based on the URL will allow, and I describe basically the user journey, allow the user to paste the URL, and then there will be a button to fetch it, and it will send the URL to Webhooks. So right here, I'm creating a new workflow in Softr, copying the webhook URL and giving it right here. So whenever that webhook is being called, that URL, it will start my workflow. And then I tell my blog, okay, listen to the webhook response because it will contain the URL of that file, that image. So we can, that will be the file to display. From there, we'll have two buttons. One to save that file and video to the database. One would be about downloading the file locally on my laptop. So we'll make sure also to include the video title in the webhook response. So we have everything to display it when it gets back. Of course, a button to reset or get back to get started with a new URL, and yeah, if there is an error, show an error message. It usually does it natively, but it's also good to mention it. So now the vibe coding block is working. We can, for example, rename our app. And here, that's an important part. We are on Apify. We're using this platform to do the scraping, and based on, so this is one of the scrapers, based on the YouTube video URL, we get all these data, which includes a URL for the thumbnail. And we see that one of them, is the high quality thumbnail. So that's for an example video. So this is a platform that has an API, and we'll see here the different endpoints they have. So you can copy the endpoint and go back into the workflow, add an API call because we'll be connecting. So our credentials here, we store them already. I paste the endpoint URL, and then I'll go back in here and paste the body of my request where I hard-coded the URL, and we'll actually be replacing that dynamically with the URL that's being sent from the vibe coding block that we just created. Quickly applying a theme to my app, but we'll be able to get back to that later. Now our block v1 is ready, so I can hit preview in Softr to see what I get. If we paste something, we get an error because we didn't turn this one on. But if I go and test the webhook, we see that we got data coming in, which is the URL of the video to process. So right now, I'll just replace the hard-coded URL with a variable, which is that URL. And if I test that, I think that I used the wrong endpoint, which didn't wait for the response to get back. So I'll just change my endpoints to the right one, synchronously, and get the dataset items. The body will remain the same. And if I test that, I should receive the full payload that we saw in the preview in the Apify platform, where I have all this information about the app. So that's perfect. From there, I'll just use a code step here to basically pass the full payload of the thumbnails because it contains many URLs. And I'll ask here the AI to help me write a code that extracts the URL that contains the URL that contains this max res default, which is a pattern that I've observed in while testing this. And we see that the code could clean up and return that single URL. So renaming the different steps to make it very clear. And from there, what we can do is respond to the webhook because we already have our URL for that video thumbnail. So we have the title, we have the thumbnail URL. Let's make sure we announce that in the right way to our vibe coding block so it knows what's the format of the response it will get. And if we test that, we see that, it's supposed to work. We turn it on to activate the workflow, and let's try again. This time we shouldn't get an error. It probably takes a couple seconds, and we received our response. We're able to save it in the database as well. So if we go back in here and check our data, we see that we already have one line. We just have an issue for the title, which seems to be in an array. So I'll just include actually in my code the capacity to clean this up. So if I test again, it should now be properly displayed. I can see that I can download it, save it database. Now, we get the right we get the right title, but we don't have the created user because I didn't connect my users to the data source. So it's something I asked my vibe coding blog to do, to save the user who actually submitted that. Yeah, there was no connection to the database yet. So this is now resolved. And we also saw that when I hit save in database, it actually then went back to reset the interface where I can share a new URL. But maybe I still want to be there. So I also asked to avoid duplicates in any case, so to make this button not valid anymore. But yeah, that's here in the vibe coding block quickly the different options. So you see that you get your code being stored, and you see the different action it has. So I could now be adding a block below to actually list all the thumbnails we have already saved to our data source. So I either add it manually, or right here I ask the co-builder to do that for me. And while it's working, we can just preview the v2 of our vibe coding block. This time it should not reset the block when we save in database, but we see that now we cannot click anymore. We can click to download, and it all works perfectly. Now the AI co-builder has also created this new block, which is perfect. We can click and then edit it manually. Maybe for the content we'll be adding just a filter to be able to filter by the user who created this or stored this thumbnail, and also allow to search in the search bar via the URL, and add also here a quick button to download that file. So we select the file URL, and also allow to delete if we want to remove one of those. And that's how easy it is to customize that. So now we have our 2 action buttons per item, and we can give it a try. So again, the vibe coding block works perfectly on a new video. I save it in database, and it directly appears here for my whole team to see it. I try deleting one, it works, and I can now filter. So I was connected as test user, so that works perfectly. And if I download one of them, I can also get that file. So that's exactly what we wanted. Now to finalize my app, I can give it a different subdomain, or even connect my own domain. So these are the final touches before I can go live. Just clean up the nav bar. Here we just rely on one page because it's a simple app. Could be then inviting my team to collaborate. That's how easy it would be. And from there, I guess that I can go ahead and publish my app. It will be live at the URL that we defined. If I try to open it, I need to be logged in to access the homepage, which makes it secure. And that's how I could create a custom app in less than an hour, targeting a very specific feature or need that I had within my team, made it collaborative, and relied on, in this case, an API that was already existing. Apify has a lot of scrapers, Reddit, YouTube, and a lot of other things on the web. Sometimes you need, I know that there's basically an API for many, many things. For example, public holidays, if you want to create a little app for your company about that, there are APIs, etc. Could be also an AI-powered app. It's very easy to integrate AI in those workflows, and shipping a secure tool for our team, including user permissions, authentication, database, workflow all together. Actually, without vibe coding everything, we see that the database is actually this no-code and easy database to set up. The workflow, we actually built it ourselves. This grid block displaying the previous thumbnails didn't need to be completely vibe coded, so many parts of this app are actually coming out of the box reliable. But whenever we needed something extra custom, for example, this block to download the thumbnails, that's when we actually prompted exactly what we wanted. So it respected that and created something very custom. So I hope this tutorial was useful, and it is now your turn to think about these tools for which you or your team are always thinking, I wish we had a way to do this. I wish we had a tool to do that. And maybe actually think about building it, list out 1 or 2 jobs to be done, and try to convert them into a database and an interface and eventually workflows so that it can be working for you. All right, cheers.